grab your mouse, your keyboard, go for a busty 10 into this game number 1. We do have Shay and Pyro Penguin competing in this final against Enemy and Yojimbo, who's actually the only one playing redraw all tournament.
Oh, that is interesting. I'm kind of disappointed that Pyro didn't go for a YOLO in this first game.
Yeah, that would sound like a Pyro move.
I think he went for one or two of those. Spells, by the way.
Yeah.
Only eco spells. There's no buffs.
What is going on today?
Offense. There's only eco spells. This is like a late game and scale.
We had no offensive spells so far today. We had only income and scale spell, and we had one venture so far. It was really not entertaining with some insane actions on 11 and 12. We really lack some aggression. We need some blood.
Yeah. So it looks like Enemy's going to go for a 5-worker Firelord start. We have Berserkers from Yojimbo and Shay, and we just have a Nightmare from Pyro.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the best pairings to go with it, though. I suppose he can drop a Wild Shroom on 3.
Yeah, he does have Dark Mage. That's kind of the synergy with his Nightmare right there.
Yeah, but not really any tanks apart from the Buckler. I suppose Wanderer, but Wanderer's really not a good tank for Nightmare early on.
Yes, question marks coming out. So they are unsure.
They're question marking the Groll. They're saying, is it an egg or is it a Firelord? Do we snail it or do we not?
Well, usually a huge indicator is if you both get king ups on one, it's usually not an exec. So sometimes if you want to get this 5-worker Graal without receiving the snail on 2, it might be good to convince your teammate to maybe not king up on wave 1, but rather go for the snail in wave 2. But not all of them do that.
Yeah. So let's see if Shay decides to call him now. Now, this is actually really important for anyone in chat who doesn't know how important this is. The snail causes a 3 creep leak against a solo Groll, and that means the enemy will not have enough gold to place the Firelord on wave 3 then. Yes. So it's actually a really big play if Shay decides to go for it, but he isn't. So enemy goes unpunished.
Yeah, he does, and I think it's perfect for him. He will get the Firelord. He will be pretty safe for the first 6 waves. For wave 7, he does have the surprise Millennium. So he's gonna be pretty much good the first 7 waves. If he's not gonna do for some major overpush, he might regret afterwards.
Yeah. And income sends all around, which is just fine.
Yeah, everybody going for the 5-worker openers. Everyone wants to scale. Nobody wants to give up a worker in the early game already, because it's probably gonna be a scaling game. We know the spells, we know the rolls. Nobody's having like an insane roll, so even the smallest drop might already cause some fallbacks for you.
Yeah, interesting one. But we might end up just seeing a hyper late game this time around, because like you said, there is no offensive spell.
Yeah, but there's
also
only
no economy.
There's no synergies. I really see no one with the synergy. The best synergy in the game at the moment is Enemy.
Drunk? Yeah, I was going to say, look at Enemy's role. Enemy has a great role. He has the Leviathans with a Phoenix, with Ocean Templar buff, with Doomsday to cover the weak waves.
Yeah,
I think he's got a really good role.
That's it. Everyone else is having like decent synergies, having average good rolls to cover every wave, like Shay.
But again, you remember Yojimbo did redraw, right? So he can have options for plenty of late game if he uses those rolls to get something good.
Very good catch, and we already have the first bigger leak from Enemy on Pyro Penguin, who actually had to do the Wild Shroom. You mentioned it before, and this is really not great at all. The leak is big. We have Enemy now 7 workers, and Pyro Penguin, he has to stay down 1 worker already because of losing some gold here, wave 3.
Yeah, so everyone on 7 apart from Pyro, as you say, so it's a little bit of an early advantage going over to the side of Enemy and Yojimbo.
Yeah. But is this gonna be like that decent for Pyro. Usually it might be okay to stay down one worker in some cases, because okay, I will now stay down one worker, I will have a very good scaling later on. But I really dislike Pyro's role. I think it's by far the worst role in this game.
Yeah. And he sucks really hard on 5 as well. Like his build is very weak on wave 5. And Enemy and Yojimbo, they did save here, so they might be able to punish Pyro pretty hard next wave.
Yeah, let's go for some imps on 5. Like, let's go for some innovation. We already saw the Hermit Sense on 5 before. The innovation going on and killing the Berserker Coiler Serpent.
Does Firelord leak this? No, okay. He survives on 40 HP.
I didn't watch the lane, sadly.
Very close there. Look, there's 2% HP Firelord.
There is it! No! Yojimbo! He had the 100.
Oh, he had imps.
He had it. He had the imps, and he's not going for the OP send on 5.
He's just going for income, though. So this is going to just be a mega scaling game. Like, everybody's pushing workers, everybody's income sending.
Well, everybody apart from Pyro, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's still income sending. Like, he's lower on workers, but he's still got good income.
We have 8 workers on Yojimbo and Enemy. They're just so far ahead already. 3 workers up before wave 5. Yeah. This is really a huge play.
This is really good. Enemy's playing very aggressive there. 385 value, shifting some gold here. He knows how strong he is with that Firelord on 5.
And on 6 again, he can just place a Graal. It's going to be fine on 6. Go for the Millennium on 7. He only has to fear 8 at the moment.
And Pyro, his best answer, or what he thought was his best answer for wave 5, is a canopy, and I don't think that's going to help him very much.
Oh, Shay and Pyro Penguin leaking so insane.
Yeah, this is a big old leak. 67 on Shay, 58 on Pyro.
13
now the saving grace is that there's no brutes or
Wow.
imps here, so the king damage won't be as bad as it could have been, but it's still going to be pretty bad.
It is going to be pretty bad, and it might be foreshadowing, but we have already one heal up on Shay and Pyro Penguin, as if they knew there's going to be some massive leaks.
Yeah, I mean, you could do with having more than one heal right now. They're down to 42% on wave 5.
Like, dropping
That's not a good start to this game for the Grape Girlz.
And now just, when will they send? Because what they don't know yet is the Millennium. They will have the Millennium to face against Enemy. We have Yojimbo already with Berserker Coiler, which is quite decent for 8, because yes, you might want to send the Mole, but the Berserker is quite good against the Mole, shutting it down if he's getting a tank. Then you still have the Coiler, so there's actually quite some options for Enemy and Yojimbo to defend themselves for the next few upcoming waves.
I think Enemy could even have not built the Growl here on wave 6, because he knows, like, he's amazingly strong on wave 6.
Yes,
and he could have just shifted to gold.
He was even able to build Growl and Tempest. He just built 200 and something. It's crazy.
It should be a decent leak then a decent hold from Enemy and Yojimbo if they decide to send on 7.
Will they get a sense now?
But they might hold.
No. Oh,
no, they do. Okay, but it's only income, so I think that's okay. I think Shay, he knows that Enemy was shifting for something with that Growl, like it's either going to be a Millennium or a Bonk or something like this. So he just goes income, which I think is fine.
But I'm really unsure about those imps. Like, why?
Yeah, I think the imps is not the best send there from Pyro. He could have sent double brute. He could also just have sent income. Honestly, it wouldn't have been a bad play. Yes,
true. And as we see this, we have one imp going against the Sand Batcher. We have the other one going to the Circer Coiler side, and this might actually be just enough to be a hold for Yojimbo if he manages to clear the right side. The Batcher is gonna tank long enough, so if the Coiler does not die against those creeps that he's actually fighting right now, which is gonna be close.
All of the big creeps are dead on that side. There's only really the imp that's dealing any damage at this point.
The imp is gonna be the problem. It might actually kill the Coiler.
Maybe.
Oh, while that actually we have Enemy leaking. Oh no! Look at this. It's gonna be 2 imps. 2 low life imps. It could have been so. Nice.
5 HP on the other end.
That's fine. I mean, they now can gain back their worker advantage. We already have 3 workers again. They have the pressure with their Mythium. They're doing fine. Easy. There's no worries they have to make themselves.
Yeah. And that 4% king damage there on wave 7 is not even close to equalizing the king health with 43% already on Grape Girlz. They're looking a little bit behind here.
Yes, and on top of this, we have now both Yojimbo and enemy going on shutdown, which already demonstrates how far they actually be ahead already. Not
yeah,
only workers
just look
value,
at the workers, dude. There's 12 apiece for enemy and Yojimbo, while Pyro, he's still on 9.
Now there's the king ups coming out. This is just, they just show their blank butts. Like, please just let us survive a bit more. It's insane. They're just releasing all the pressure. They know they're getting saved on. They're panicking a little bit.
And when do you think the counterattack comes from enemy and Yojimbo? Because they don't have to send on 9 if they don't want to after getting this send here.
Either 9 or 11. But it's 9.
They do.
It's 9.
Okay, they go on 9.
I think 11 would have been pretty much fine as well. Go 11, take credit to yourself. Your opponents have to take another spell. Maybe okay. But I do like the send here as well. They know they're ahead. They know they can scale very well in the situation they are in. And I like taking the advantage and just increasing the level of workers and scaling.
Now Shay's value is pretty good. He's minus 80 and Pyro is only minus 65, so they're both on decent value. Of the two of them, I think Pyro probably has the best chance of holding because he has so much impact damage and fortified and stuff like this. I think he's got a pretty solid build here. But Shay, on the other hand, he's really not that great.
Agreed, yes. I really
Although
think...
he is sniping the Ogre really quickly, and that might be his saving grace. Because now the Ogre's dead, he has no damage to kill the resurrected Samurai.
Yeah. That's pretty much true. Like, the Samurai is doing really good here on this wave. If there's no insane pressure on it, there's no Ogre, there's no Brood anymore. But there's still some leaks.
There's a leak, but it's a small one. And as expected, Pyro just full holds here with his near 100% impact build. Like, he has only impact plus a nightmare. So.
And on top of this, we actually have Pyro Penguin who was able to hold this. He had the Canopy alive. So some more regeneration going on. And yeah, they're just doing fine, even though the send was large. But they're still far behind. They're still
far behind. They're still behind in workers, even after receiving a send. That they have a little bit more Mythium, but really not much more. And meanwhile, enemy and Yojimbo, they're just catching up every second that passes because they do have that worker lead.
Yes. So the Mythium will be equal within the next wave, I assume. So where are gonna be the points to go for some aggression here?
Looking at all 4 builds, I would expect a wave 12 send from everybody.
I would say the same, kinda.
I think Pyro, like the reason Pyro held wave 9 is because he has so much impact damage, but that also makes him pretty weak on 12. Though of course he does have doppelganger options there. And Shay, he's really not great on 12 either, with pretty much all of his units apart from the Deep Coiler being quite bad there.
Yes. Is there even a chance though to leak some of those? Like, enemy is looking really good. I'm really hoping for him to re-roll the Butcher before the next sends are coming, because that might be a lot of fun to see this insane Phoenix.
Speaking of re-rolls, by the way, take a look at Yojimbo, because he's used at least one of his redraws, and his late game is now looking much better than it was before. He has Antler, he has Lord of Death, he has Butcher, he has Nightmare. Like, he now has some fantastic late game options.
It is looking really, really promising. Even though I might want to swap some of his... Oh, he has Pawn Shop! He can basically rebuild a lot of his units. Perfect. Like, I would love to get rid of this one maybe. Go for the LOD here, Antler here, and Nightmare here. That would actually be a really good one.
That would be good.
And then you can do the Lions up here. Like, that would be a really nice one. But now he's gonna be a little bit in tougher spot. Income Sense coming out, by the way, for the East team.
Yeah, and I think this should actually be a pretty easy hold for Shay and Pyro. So we might look back at this wave 11 here and think this is a turning point, because it looks like this is going to be the moment where Enemy and Yojimbo take their foot off the pedal a little bit and just give Shay and Pyro some breathing space. I really think they should have gone for a full send on wave 12.
Yes.
I really think that would have been a better call than this, because this does
so,
just let Shay and Pyro push workers now.
Agreed. But at the same time, we have Enemy and Yojimbo both on actually decent value. They don't seem too awful for the next wave, so they can be quite relaxed here. They can be quite safe. And now we have the sell on the LOD, which I really like. Use your pawn to be efficient, and boom,
we have it straight into a doppelganger. Yeah, amazing. And with that value as well, like 2.1k on Yojimbo, Enemy's going to be about the same when he finishes building. Like, they're both just looking really strong now on 12. Like, they use the pawn shop really well here.
On top of this, we have income king, so we do have some stronger king. I even think Yojimbo at least should be able to hold this wave.
But look, his doppelganger's just speedrunning to death. It just ran straight into the ram, and now it's getting focused by the half of the wave.
It's surviving. It's not.
No, it nearly made it.
And the Phoenix is dead already. Oh, this is turning a lot quicker than I thought.
This is a big league. Yeah.
This is close to game. Like, luckily they did king ups.
I mean, we did just say that the income on 11 was going to be a turning point, and it looks like that was right, because this big countersend on 12 with the added Mythium from pushing to 20 workers is really hurting Enemy and Yojimbo here.
Yeah, it is.
Look at this damage. They're not just equaling the king HP, they're shooting past it. They're all the way down to 35% now, 33 even.
But Yojimbo's so unlucky with his doppelganger going for some suicide action right away. He was the one that should be able to carry it, but I think the main issue he had was the massive lack of tanks in front of the doppelganger here. So he did not have any units, since he had to sell the berserker that was standing in front of the doppel to actually tank some for the unit, and he was just running into 3 creeps at the 3 or 4 creeps even at the same time, and
that's really what killed him, because if that doppel doesn't just suicide itself, then he's almost guaranteed to hold that wave.
Yes. And now, due to those king ups on the East team side and the little bit of advantage on king HP on the West team, I think like the teams are pretty much even right there. So is this gonna be the 14 send? It looks like a good go against Shay. 14, Enemy looks decent 15. We have Yojimbo looking decent 14 again. Like, what is gonna be the go?
I don't even know if Enemy is that good on 15, because with his current positioning, like, he would have to fix the positioning, because otherwise his Phoenix stays backline until his tanks die, and then it gets full focus by the wave all at once.
Yes.
So
he's likely to get a better Ocean Temple, though, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Oh, we do have to sacrifice.
Meanwhile, Shay should be pretty strong on 15 with that Chieftain spam.
Am I happy with this? I'm not quite sure how this is gonna end. Like, we do have Yojimbo now going for the Hades, which is usually good for 15, but his doppel still does not have a tank to get protected from.
Well, he's rerolled again, and now he has the Badger. Or was that? No, that was there before, sorry.
That was there before.
So he does have the Badger, so he can place a couple of those in front of the doppel for 15. Yeah. And then maybe he's good enough, because he has got the Hades, he will have the Arcane tanks.
He won't be able to get more than 2.
Yeah, but 2 might just be enough. It's a lot of HP.
Yeah.
I also like that he sold the Alpha Male that was debuffed by the head chef. I think that was a good play.
That was a very good play. Maybe he's actually selling another Alpha Male to just get another Badger. I don't know.
This is income only from Shay and Pyro, so they're not going for leaks here.
Which is strange, because I really think they were in a position to go for some.
Oh, Yojimbo, by the way, actually selling his other Alpha Male so that he can get more badges here.
Okay, but I like this one. This one here is super important.
Yeah,
Putting a unit in front of your doppelganger here will help a lot.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, but now your Jimbo actually
he's
turned...
really scared of this wave. He's really scared of this wave. He's selling
Yeah.
Alpha Male and Warg. Like, it's fine because he has the pawn shot, but it's still expensive, right? You're still losing like 28 gold when you sell an Alpha Male.
Apart from this head chef here, there was a butcher before. He actually turned every unit into another one after wave 10.
Yeah.
That is like a very high usage of pawn shop.
So even though pawn shop is 90%, he probably has still lost about 100 gold this game already just from selling units.
But we do have some proper leagues over there. We have Pyro Penguin. That's good.
That's good.
There's another shaman coming. That's a GG, I guess.
Signs of life then.
Ooh. And I'm 100% sure that if Pyro Penguin and Shay decide to go for full sense here, they might actually be in the game-winning position. Like, we have both Yojimbo and enemy only with like one bigger unit alive. We have the Hades and the Doomsday Machine. And this is only income sense, right? So they could have actually tried to make proper sense and managed to leak.
I mean, having said that, they may just have died if they did that. Because look at this, their king is 5% HP, and that was with the income and king play.
Yeah.
So if they did decide to go for a full send there on 15, maybe they would have just lost the race. Who knows? It almost certainly would have been a race because both sides would have leaked. Probably. I just don't know who would have won the race.
True. Maybe Pyro Penguin should make more use of his pawn shop as well. He did not spam any tier 1 so far. Yeah, let's see.
This game is so back and forth though, Bonny. It is, you know,
pretty close.
Enemy and Yojimbo, they were really far ahead, and then they sent the income on 11, and then they got crushed on 12.
Another reroll on Yojimbo. Disciple Mudman now. Alright.
Nice. Oh, the Mudman's really nice for him, actually, because he does need those tanks.
Yes. It's gotta be game end on 17, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna be massive sense next. We have enemy and Yojimbo now leading in workers again. They pushed quite hard after 15. I mean, they were allowed to. They got the full wave bounty plus all the income.
Yeah. And here comes the 17 send now. Shay's looking pretty weak, I think, although I would love to see Yojimbo sending Centaur.
Pyro as well. I really think they're both looking really weak. Like Pyro and Shay.
Yeah, agreed. Pyro at least, they both have good tanks, but Shay doesn't really have any damage on this wave. Pyro does have damage, but they're both really far undervalued. Look at this, minus 300 on Shay, minus 600 there on Pyro. Yeah. But there's full sense coming from both. Like Shay and Pyro, they're going in here as well. But enemy has this unit.
Can you explain me one thing? Why are there so many people starting to play Coilers like this? Why is
Square?
Yeah.
I can't answer that one, dude.
I
also think he has too many of them. I think 5 Coilers is overkill.
Yeah, he does have one tank.
Tanks to support it.
He does have one tank for those.
Yeah, like watch what happens now. So this samurai will die. Okay, maybe not. I was going to say they're going to turn around and just murder the Coilers, but he's doing okay.
Yeah, he's doing okay. Actually, pretty lucky that they didn't turn around after the samurai died the first time.
Oh, talking of doing okay though, Yojimbo, he's not on the okay train.
Oh no, not at all. But we have
enemy's full holding, so there's.
Yojimbo, he's not leaking too much because there's 2 imps, 1 brute.
Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like Pyro's gonna leak.
We do have 4 eye and that. This is very close to game over.
No, I think they survive this with a full king attack because it's just gonna like one-shot everything.
Enemy and Yojimbo are gonna live. It's all about Pyro and Shay, whether they die now or not. I mean, the 4-eye, it's gonna ramp up a bit, right? We do have that unit, like one of those taking a shot, then this one unit dies. Then
it's
okay.
It's close, you know. They are gonna live, but it's like they're back at 6% again, where they were already like 2 waves ago, and they've just regened up a bit.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, more damage on the side of enemy Yojimbo. They're down to 25%. And they don't have any regen, so they're staying at 25%.
They are. And I think one of the massive mistakes that was just made is that Mudman here should have definitely been in front right there to once again protect the doppelganger.
Yeah, true. Agreed.
But let's actually see. I was 100% sure the game's gonna end on 17, but apparently everyone was actually doing a lot better than I would have thought. It gotta be 19 now. Like I really don't see the players doing too good on 19. Yojimbo is not standing a chance on the wave.
Well, Enemy's good there though.
Enemy's
as
good,
long as
100%.
if his Phoenix stays alive, if his Phoenix doesn't get focused, then Enemy's really good on 19.
Yeah, but then at the same time we do have Shay. Like, he's not too great.
Shay's solid there. If he just spams more samurais, he might be okay, because then he's got some decent DPS as long as the coilers can stay alive. He has
as long as they stay alive, that's true.
Yeah, that's a big if though, right?
Yeah, that's an insane if. Like, it's all about those coilers performing like on wave 17, not dying.
Yeah.
But the sense have to be now because the Jim was just so bad. So
yeah,
he will be going to the league here.
Everyone goes.
Oh,
now, I think Yojimbo can just spam golems, which he does. I really think he should put one here instead of like this one, for example. Yeah, I don't like he's building.
He should go for that one up here, put it as a golem, and then spam two ones.
I really don't like this one here. I really want that one
and
to
especially
be
now,
in front there.
He does have 2 LODs down here, but he still doesn't have the Disciple, for example. Like, there's some stuff you should...
There's some improvements.
Yeah, true.
And I think in Enemy's lane, a lot comes down to whether or not this Phoenix gets focused.
But look at this.
Because that is so much of his damage. So
triple
let's
vet boost.
see that.
That's nice.
Triple vet boost is pretty good.
Did you know that Veteran is actually the new weapon against 21?
Oh, really?
Yesterday I had a game with King, and we were really with our backs to the wall. And then he just decided to boost 320 gold in Veterans, and he was melting the boss.
Look at this, by the way. Yojimbo's coiler there actually sniping out the Shaman. That's pretty big.
I didn't see that one.
And his doppelganger is alive, so despite the unorthodox Mudman positioning there, his doppel did stay alive.
But the coilers from Shay are not, and this is going to be game for Yojimbo and Enemy.
This was a really close game. A really close game.
Yeah, but Enemy is here to cover once again. I think he would be able to cover those leftover creeps, so they wouldn't even die on that wave.
Well played Enemy and well played Yojimbo.
Yeah, they did. Even though they almost lost it on wave 11 with income sending and then Leak and Hard on 12.
Yeah, but what would the Diamond Division be without the occasional throw, am I right?
I mean, what would be Grandmaster Division be about without some major throws?
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.